America, what up? So today I'm going to be talking a little bit about perception and how our perceptions define our own reality. So when Marcy and I first got together, we sat down and had a very intimate conversation about what we wanted out of life. Things were established just to make sure that we were on the same page before we moved into a further committed relationship and invested more time into each other. And one of the things that came up for me was I told Marcy, I want a son. I have always known that I'm going to have a son. And Marcy came back to me with, well, that's a possibility. It's not something that she really wants to do. We both run our own businesses. We're incredibly busy, and the amount of time that it takes to raise a child, is quite a hefty load. And Marcy's already been through it twice. But she came back with me was, well, Tyson, does it really have to look a specific way? Because I believe that the man that was going to come into my life and, be my mate, was going to accept my children as his own. Almost, so to speak, that, they do have a biological father, but the man that was really going to father them and raise them and teach them what he knows was the man that she was going to be with. And, at first this was a little hard for me to think because I was so, it's like blood's thicker than water. I was so predetermined and preset that it had to look a certain way, that it had to be my blood or my next of kin for me to have a son. Well, as I've grown in consciousness and I've raised my level of consciousness, I now understand that our perceptions actually define our reality. And, life is up here. You can make anything you want out of life, and you can create it however you want to be. So Marcy took off to Arizona for a retreat that she's running. And I decided to stay back to get some work done and also to spend bonding time with the boys. And we hung out quite a bit today. And it was probably the most connected I had ever been with them, and we've been pretty connected in the past. So what am I getting at? Because I've shifted my perception, I am starting to move into the space where I feel like they're my own children, right? Like not even my own children, my own blood. And as I've moved into that perception with that shift, with that mental shift, something remarkable has happened. So I'm hanging out with Sky today, and I have never met a 12-year-old that reminds me more of me when I was 12 years old. I mean, literally everything that he does is remarkable. Everything that he does reminds me of exactly what I was doing when I was his age. I can't believe it. It's like a spitting fucking image. He could be my blood. And I would have never been aware of this or never understood this if my perceptions hadn't shifted. So you have the power to choose your own reality. You have the power to shift your perceptions. And I now feel like I have two beautiful, wonderful boys. I'm never trying to replace their father because you can't ever replace another individual. I'm just simply trying to step in and be the role model and give them the love that I would give to my children. So it's been a remarkable experience, and I am truly, truly blessed to say that it can look any way you want. Just because society says it has to look a certain way doesn't really mean it has to look a certain way. And I have two beautiful sons, and we had an amazing day together. This is Tyson James Lee, and I'm just about that fatherhood, boss.